going on, you guys? Hey, I just wanted to make this short little video to let you know that, I see that you got your gift. Basically, this is just a family gift for the boys, for Philip, for even Michelle and the girl. Just basically, just wanted to say, thanks for bringing us out there this past year and letting us come and enjoy Arizona with y'all. We really wanted to come down this summer. But trying to fix up the house and everything like that. And so I've been kind of sitting on whether or not I wanted to get rid of this or not. The boys have their little cars and stuff like that still, and so I just wanted to do this as a big brother to little brother, saying thanks for everything that you do for us and all the support and stuff like that. So anyways, basically what we'll do is we'll just go over some few things that you need to know and things that you should consider whenever you're playing with this, because even though it's a toy, it's a big boy toy. So like taking care of the batteries and stuff like that is really useful, and how to use your charger to basically charge your batteries and just basically the longevity of taking care of it. I've had this car for about 3 years. It still runs great, still runs strong, so shouldn't have any kind of issues like that. So as far as coming with the controller, this is how you turn right and left. You have a trigger, so pull back on it makes it go forward, push forward on it makes it go backwards. Okay, you have a trim, and we'll look at that later, but it just basically trims out your wheels so that this way your car goes straight. This controller can pair to other Traxxas cars. With the little red button, so if this one breaks down or if you need to change out a module or something like that, you can always pair it with this. This thing is a 2.4 gigahertz. This thing will go super far. The car will go super far. Versus like your little play toys and stuff like that. This thing will actually get you where you need to go. So here's the car. Okay, it's got shocks on it. Okay, which I actually updated those just recently because I didn't want to send them down there with some shocks that were, kind of older or anything like that. So don't lose these. This is how it keeps the whole car part on here. Okay, you can actually buy these. These are really cheap, like 30-40 bucks. Like I said, this thing flips over like 10-20 times, and this thing is still strong, still trucking along. So it's got some chippage here and there, but as far as this whole plastic part, it's still sturdy. So that should last you for a good while. So looking at our car, okay, there's not an on and off switch on this one. Basically this right here, this little blue thing, this is called your speed controller, an electronic speed controller. You have this little button on here that you push, and this thing has different settings. So like when you're in a race competition, they want you to put it on a certain setting so that this way you can't reverse, okay? Because when you're going straight and then you hit reverse, the car can slide and you can do like a 180, okay? They don't want you to be able to do that in a race. You can do it in a race where like you turn the wheels 1 second and then go back the other way and then gun it. He'll do a 180 like that. But it's a lot easier to do it with the reverse. Plus, if there's just different rules for different contests and stuff like that. So right now, what I have it in is I have it in full on go mode. Okay, it can go backwards. There's another setting on here that you can put. You can put this on so that this way it goes a little bit slower. It doesn't go full speed, but however you want to. There's different modes and stuff like that. I'll figure out where the different modes. It's got also like a light thing that lets you know that your voltage is good or if it's low, and time to actually change out the battery or something like that. Alright, so sorry about that, the video cut out. Shocks are brand new. They should be pretty good. There's different ways I sent a package with a bunch of stuff in there. They got thicker rings, and it's to put these in there so that this way you can stiffen the car itself. But it should be good to go. So, all right. So what we would want to do is let's talk about your battery real quick. This is I only have one battery. It's a 4,000 milliamp battery. Okay, if you look at it right there, it says 4020C. Okay, this is what's called a 2-cell battery. It's got 2 cells in it. Okay, that's real important because when you go to charge it, you got to tell it what type of battery it is. It'll double check for you to make sure that the cell is correct. So 4,000. Okay, this is really simple. If you buy another one, you can get, this is a 2-cell, you can get a 3-cell, which would make it go faster. But as you'll see when you start to actually play with this thing, it's really fast. If you get anything too crazy fast, the hard thing is it's hard to control, and you'll just end up tumbling constantly. On concrete, it grips. Okay, so when you turn like really quickly, it might go tumbling. But on like dirt or something like that, it's gonna just kind of spin out, do 180s and stuff like that. So you know, when you go to turn on concrete, you want to kind of like let go of the throttle and just, you know, let the wheels do the turning for you and then gun it again. So 4,000 milliamp battery. Okay, 4020C. This 20C, what this means is that the higher the C rating, okay, so if this was like a 50C, that means that you would get a continuous burst of power constantly. Okay, so like I said, run with this first. There are 3 different batteries like this. This one's like the lower model. Then there's another one, and then there's even a better one than that. But as long as you take care of this battery, you should be good for a good long time. Like I said, this battery is like 3 years old. So, anyways, 2-cell, 4,000 milliamp battery, 20C. Okay, it's a 2-cell battery, so that's very important. Okay, so you prop it into its little cavity right here that it has. Okay, you put it in there, and then you take your little guard. It's got two little things that it slides into, and then it goes down on this little metal thing right down here. Okay, you also have, there's this one. It's like a little clip. Okay, it just clips right on it, so this goes down and it clips right in. Okay, holding it in place. Okay, I had to buy this because I lost it, so I got you a new one. I have an extra ring, the little key, the little lock thing in that bag that's provided with the car. So if you lose this, you know, for the most part, if you take this out and you take out the battery, I always put this thing back in there and then just lock it in so I don't lose it. Okay, so every single time you want to turn on your controller first, the on switch is on the back side. You have a little green light. Okay, then you take your connector. Okay, your connector itself, it has red on one side and black on the other. These can only be plugged in one way, okay, because of the shape. So you'll plug it in, and the way you turn this on is, like I said, right here on this electronic speed controller, there's a little button. You push it. Let's see. You push it, hold it for like a second, and the light turns green. Okay. Just turning that, pulling back makes it go forward. Pushing it forward makes it go back. Okay. So the thing is, you can plug this in, and then as long as the light's not on, you should be good. But anytime you're not messing with this thing, unplug it. Okay. Because the thing is that if you leave, like with these type of batteries, if you leave this thing running for, like, if you leave or whatever like that, or you put it inside the house or something like that, and the battery dies, this battery is ruined. This battery right here is like $50 to $60. So just something to consider. Anytime you're not playing with it, just unplug it. Okay. So let's see, and that's pretty much it. So you don't have to like turn off the button or anything like that. If you're done with it, just pull the cord. You can leave the battery in there and then just stick this back on. Okay, so this antenna has to go through this first, and then these have to go over this little ridge on both sides, and just make sure the 4 little prongs pop up. Then you take your little hooks and then hook them on. Okay, so like in this case, let's take this out, take the battery out. we'll put this back together. Okay. And clip this back in so we don't lose the clip. Guide the antenna through the top first. And then just kind of wiggle it around. Make sure it's over the bumper in the front. And then clip this back in. Okay, so we'll clip this back in, we'll put the card to the side, and then I'll show you how to use the charger, because the charger itself is very important. I mean, the thing is that with these type of batteries, you don't want to leave the battery at full power. Like, if you charge it and a day is okay, but anything beyond that, you wanna take the power out of this. So either by playing with the car, I'll tell you this right now, that playing with it hardcore, it probably takes about 40 minutes to drain this battery. So, you know, play with it as much as you possibly can. If it's raining or something like that, there's another option that you can do to take the charge out of this battery. So, here's your charger. We'll plug this in real quick. It's gonna light up. Okay, so this is your charger. This is a Venom Pro 2. Really not that expensive. It's probably like 50 bucks. But this charger is pretty good because it can charge 2S, 3S, 4S batteries. So if the boys get into like quads and stuff like that, this thing will actually charge that. So you have, just like on your car, you have this cable that's hooked up to it. It's color coded. Okay, so if these actually get ever pulled out, this, you know, is black, and then the other one's red. So make sure that these actually get plugged in correctly. If you don't plug them in the right way, you're gonna blow up some stuff. So the first thing you want to do is turn it on. There's no on and off switch, so you just plug it in, plug it out, or plug it in, turn it on. Plug it in, we'll just turn it on, and then unplugging it will turn it off. Okay, so there's a bunch of different settings on here. Right now it is on, let me see if I can fix that. Right now it's on LiPo charge. Okay, what you want to charge yours on is LiPo balance. Okay, what that does is, because of the fact that your battery has 2 cells in it, you want each cell to be charged at the same level. Okay, if you do the other one, LiPo charge, it will charge it to what it's supposed to charge it to, but maybe one of the cells may be a little bit less than the other. Okay, so using these 2 buttons, go through the menu. Okay, you want to go ahead and switch it on to LiPo balance. Okay, and what you can do is, we will plug this in. Same thing, just like your car. The battery itself has to be plugged into the little port. Okay, it's shaped funny, so it has to go in only one way. Okay, and then the next thing we have to do is, these ports right here, these are your balance ports. This has to be plugged, the other side of the battery has to be plugged into that. So right here, this is called your balance lead. Okay, if you go 3 cell, 4 cell, this gets bigger, but this one only fits in one slot. Okay, which is the first one. That's a 2 cell balance charger right there. So you plug that in. Okay, so we plugged in the lead, and then we plugged in the balance charger. Okay, you have to have that plugged in, because if you go to the balance to actually tell it to charge it balance wise, it'll say like something's wrong if it's not plugged in. So that's a little safety that it does. The other thing is I provided you this battery case. This thing is fireproof, so if your battery goes up in flames, this thing will give you some level of protection. Okay, so anytime I ever charge this battery, I always open it up, and it's got these little slits over here, and basically I just drop the battery in there. Okay, making sure everything else is plugged in, and then like that. Okay, try not to pull on the leads or anything like that, but that's the way you want it. Have it in the bag, and then have your charger ready to go. You don't ever want to charge this where you can't see it, okay? So if y'all put it in the garage and y'all go to charge it and then you leave, if this thing goes up in flames, you can't really, you really can't, you know, keep track of that. I've always charged mine in the house. As long as you do it the way I'm explaining it to you, then it should be safe, okay? So anytime you're not using the battery, whether it's in the car or whatever like that, put it in this bag and leave it in here, okay? It just puts some safety for y'all. Okay, so the thing is that it's good to go. Okay, it's in the case. We're on LiPo balance. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna push the play button, which is over here. It says start, and when it's in that mode, you see the 4.0 it's flashing. Okay, that's the milliamp. So your battery, like I said, is 4,000. So anytime that you're dealing with it in thousandths, then you just want to put a dot after the first, you know, number, 4,000. If it's a 6,000 milliamp, if it's a 1,000 milliamp battery, then you're only going to set it to 1.0. But in this case, we have a 4,000 milliamp battery, so we're going to set it to 4.0. Okay. The next thing is you push play. Okay. Now it wants to know what type of cell battery you're using. Are you using a 2-cell, 3-cell, 4-cell? In this case, it's a 2-cell. Okay. It even has the 7.4 on the battery, on the sticker on the battery, so you can't really get that wrong. So 4,000 for your milliamp, 7.4 for your voltage, okay, and it even says right there 2S, which is what your battery is. We're gonna hit play. If you press it again, it goes back to the milliamp. Let's say you messed that up. So you can hold these down and it will adjust that, okay. We're gonna take it up to 4,000. Okay. Charging it at 4.0, which is what's considered charging it at one cell. Okay, one S. Okay, you want to do this on any battery that you get. If you get a 6,500 milliamp battery, then charge it at 6.5 amps. If it's a 3,000 milliamp battery, then charge it at 3.0 amps. Okay, so if that makes sense, okay? So this is 4.0, 2-cell. You're gonna hold down the start button, and it's gonna check this. It says battery check, okay? And it lets you know, it wants to know, like, are you gonna confirm this? It's 2-cell, okay? It says enter, or you can press the square button for stop, and it'll get out of this mode. But instead, we're gonna hold the start button, and there it goes, it starts to charge. It says LiPo 2S, right? This next number is showing how many amps it's putting in there, okay? Over here, we see the 8.25 volts. The car will actually just stop working whenever it's done. When it can't run anymore, that's it, okay? And it should take it down to a safe level, as long as when you're done with it, you unplug it. Okay, if you leave that thing plugged in, it's probably gonna use that battery and it's gonna drain it all the way through. When you hook up the battery to this charger, if that battery is damaged, this charger won't charge it. It will tell you something's wrong. Okay, so as you can see, it's going up 8.29. This will go up to 8.4. I actually charged it the other day. So usually it's pretty low. It's like 7 point something. It takes about maybe 40 minutes to an hour to charge this battery. And then you get about maybe an hour worth of playtime with the car, okay? Other things, while it's charging, it's got a fan on it, okay? To kind of keep this thing cool. So don't charge it in the sunlight, especially in Arizona. We don't want it to burn anything down. This is charging, see it's going up to 3.8. It's gonna go up to 4.0 eventually. You can cycle through these and it shows each cell, look. 4.16 on one cell, 4.16 on the other cell. Okay, that's pretty cool, especially if you get multiple cells. This will show you what each cell is. You can tell if a battery is pretty bad is if like this 4.16 is at like, you know, 3.2, and then this one's at like 4.20. That's bad because those cells don't match. Okay, so but because of the fact that this is a LiPo balance and I've taken care of this battery for a good while, it's gonna go up to 4.20. Even if it was at like 4.19 on each of them, you're still good. Okay, so basically what you can do is you can cycle through this again. It'll take you back to the main screen. It shows if you use these buttons, it shows just like what this is all set to. Safety timer 300 minutes. That's a lot. The in voltage, it says right here, it says 8.4 for a 2-cell. That's basically what the voltage is going to take up the battery to. Okay, the charger is going to take it up to 8.4, and then you're good. Safety timer, all this stuff is all normal. This is just talking about internal, external voltage, and that's it. Just basically like plug it in, walk away. I mean, as long as you have it visible, or you can just come back and check on it. The other day I was charging in the room, in another room, and every like 10 minutes I'd go in there and check on it just to make sure it's not exploded or anything like that. But that's pretty much it. You just let it do its thing, and eventually it will beep. When you come back here, it will say full. Okay, as you can see right now, it says 8.4 volts. Okay, if it's half charged or something like that, it won't take as long to charge. But if it is fully charged, then just let it do its thing. Okay, so like I said, once it's done, it'll beep, it'll stop charging, and it'll just stay there. Okay, I think after 300 minutes, this whole system will just shut off. So if you leave and you forget, like, oh crap, I left this thing running, it should turn off. Okay, it shouldn't charge it anymore or anything like that. But usually, like I said, if you're planning on playing with it, charge it. Make sure you have enough time to be at the house when this thing is charging. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll hit stop. Okay, and like I said, most of the time it'll say full. All you'll do is just hit stop when you see full. And at this point, we can go ahead and unplug it from the charger. You pull the balance lead out. Be careful pulling that out, just kind of wiggle it out. And then disconnect your cable. Like that. Okay, and then this right here, you can just unplug it from the wall and it will turn off. That's it for the charger. Okay. The other thing is like I said, leave it in this case. Push it in further or whatever like that, and leave it in the case. Okay. When you're ready to play with it, take it out, put it in the car. When you're done with it, this is really good because it will prevent like the heat temperatures and stuff like that. If you are at like a baseball game or something like that, and you took this on with you, throw some blankets over it or something like that to keep it cool, especially in Arizona, or just take it out of the car, tell Michelle to put it in her purse or a backpack or something like that just to keep it safe. All right. Hey, you want to help me over here? So anyways, we just want to say thank you. And hopefully y'all enjoy this, and let me know if you have any problems or anything like that, or if something's kind of confusing. I know these videos are pretty long, but I had to do a lot of research whenever I got the car. Some do's and don'ts that I learned or whatever like that. So this will get you on a good step, on the good path to enjoy your car. All right. So like I said, turn on your charger first, plug in the battery. Put your canopy on, make sure that light comes on. If it doesn't, push the button for like 3 seconds, the light will turn green. Your wheels will probably adjust. Hook everything up, put your canopy on, and you're good to go. You know what I mean? So, and then afterwards, like I said, take the battery out, put it in the bag, turn everything else off, and just enjoy. All right, love y'all guys, and hopefully we'll probably be able to come down eventually and come and see y'all. All right. What?
Are you sure we're gonna be able to go? Because we only have like 1 week left.
Maybe not this summer, but I don't know, maybe for Christmas or something. Or maybe for next year.
Because next year?
I don't know.
They're gonna be 11.
I know. We'll be able to play with our cars too. Alright guys, we'll see you later. Love you.